A lot of that stuff is like kind of inspiration for us to make it true. You know, if somebody comes up with something very popular rumor, then we'll make it true. Animalities being one example, and you know, Reptile was a hidden character in Mortal Kombat 1, and you know, people would say, oh, there's a way to control him. So you know, we put him in Mortal Kombat 2 as a controllable character, and so you know, a lot of what we see and hear in terms of rumors is the basis for some of the stuff that we add in the following. People actually pull the game ROMs out of the boards in their games, and they look for text, and they try to find any sort of clues as to what else is hidden in the game. So what I've done is I put, you know, fake text in there, just to, you know, to kind of like teasing the players who actually go that far. And I put, you know, Ed Boon wins, John Tobias wins, right next to all the text that says, you know, Scorpion wins, Reptile wins, or whatever. So people think that, oh, you know, they're in the game. The thing that I really want to see in games is just intensity, bigger than life intensity. You know, a lot of people make simulators. You know, they'll make something that simulates reality, and you know, to me, I think reality is boring, and that's the whole reason why you play a video game, is to escape reality. So when you punch somebody, you know, if you make them fly the proper distance, that's boring. So, but if you make them fly, you know, 20 feet in the air, if you make them, just anything that's just as outrageous as inhumanly possible. John came up with the, I remember John coming in and describing how he wanted to do Sub-Zero's fatality in the first game. And I was like, oh man, that's a bit extreme, isn't it? And then he was like, no, it'd be cool, you know, and then he went ahead and did the graphics for him, and then I put him in the game, programmed it all up, and we were looking, we called everybody in from the company asking what they thought, and they were like, oh, that is so disgusting, but you got to keep it in. I'm a good player, definitely not a great player. I've seen players that are just, you know, beyond what I thought is beyond any point of how good you can get. At least where my perception was. I mean, they got to a point where they knew nuances of the game that I had no idea existed. You know, they would show us some combo and we'd be like, oh, I didn't know you could do that.
With Mortal Kombat, we wanted to, again, create a backstory so that, to kind of give the characters a validity, to give them a reason for existing, and to give the players a reason to attach themselves to certain characters. Liu Kang is our traditional noble, you know, Shaolin monk. He of all the characters had the noblest cause for being involved in the whole mess. Shang Tsung was initially inspired by sort of all the wise old men you see from the old martial arts movies, you know, with the long, thick white eyebrows and the long white beards. And Goro was just sort of us trying to emulate, you know, some of the classic monsters you saw kind of growing up in the movies, the old Ray Harryhausen movies. You know, there's always a big cyclops and things of that nature, and sort of Goro we wanted to be sort of a version of those old classic monsters. Initially we included the ninjas in Mortal Kombat because ninjas, again, in martial arts are such a popular I don't know, staple in that whole genre, and we wanted to include ninjas, and we wanted something different about them, something a little bit supernatural. And we also wanted to add some color to their costumes, because I think typically ninjas dress in black so that you can't see them. And our ninjas, you know, got the bright blue and we've got the bright yellow on them, and that was just sort of to add some color to the, you know, to the... Initially, Sonya never even existed in Mortal Kombat. We created a character who was going to be an African-American U.S. Special Forces character in Mortal Kombat, and his name, Jax's name, was Curtis Stryker in Mortal Kombat 1. And as we went on, it looked like we were only going to have space for 6 characters, but we wound up finding room for a 7th character and decided that we wanted to add a female. At the time it was kind of a rush thing, and we decided to kind of apply the Curtis Stryker character who eventually became Jax, but wanted to apply Jax's story to Sonya, and and so she sort of became the Special Forces agent, and then Kano was created to kind of be her nemesis and give her a reason for being in the tournament and create sort of a conflict for her. The graphics are the initial attraction. When somebody looks at a game, the cool graphics kind of attract a player to it, and that will pull in the first token. And then I think after they play it a few times and they realize, hey, this feels good and it's fun to play, that's what keeps them coming back. And that's what I think has made Mortal Kombat last so long, is just that it's the combination of good gameplay and good graphics. I consider myself a good player at Mortal Kombat. When we first test the game and it first gets out there for that first month, I'm probably pretty capable of kicking anybody's butt, but you give it a month or two and the players just latch on to certain elements of the game, and I just can't win anymore. Here's a way cool tip using the Shang Tsung character. What you do is you throw your ground skulls 3 in a row, then while your opponent is up in the air, morph into Cyrax, and while your opponent is landing, throw a net at him. When the net hits him, execute the uppercut. This one inflicts major damage.
In order to beat Mortal Kombat 3, you're going to have to go through 2 boss monsters. The first one is Motaro. Beating Motaro consists of doing your ground combos and getting away quickly. For instance, Cabal, walk up close to him, do high punch, and then low punch while you're holding down on the joystick, and get out of the way quick.
Your second challenge will be Shao Kahn. To beat Shao Kahn, hit him with an uppercut or any other move that knocks him on his back. Then before he gets up, you can hit him with an uppercut again. Repeat this move until he's gone.